This is so not true. I love glorious mornings. Well, we have company coming today, and it is, what is today's date? 23rd? I already forget. But it's getting closer to Halloween. I love Halloween. This year I'm not doing it up as much as I have done in the past, but I got my little skeleton earrings on, and of course my cup, the dark fingernails. And today for lunch, actually we'll probably be doing a lupper. They're coming around 2. We're gonna make dinner. I'm going to be making a salmon dinner. I love one of Ina Garten's recipes, so we're gonna do that. But I need to make a list of things I want to get done today. And one thing about lists in me is I can make them. I don't always remember to look at them. But today I'm going to, I need to. So I have to start with a few things just to keep me on track. All right, so I know I'll keep adding to the list as I think of things, but I definitely want to get the potatoes going. I like to put them in a bag with the olive oil, the rosemary, the salt, and just let it sit and meld. Usually I do it overnight, but I didn't get that done last night. So I'm going to start my list, and I'm going to take you along with me today while we're prepping and getting ready for company for a Halloween dinner and just a fun gathering amongst friends. Very casual, but I'm having fun setting the table and giving it a little Halloween decor. I forgot to buy ice cream. I'm going to text Ben right now and see if he'll pick that up for me on the way home from the gym. Taking advantage of these beautiful days. It's going to change quickly here in this part of New England. I was contemplating bringing my rosemary inside. I might dig it up and put it in a pot just like I did the thyme. Yeah, I think that will be my idea. This is called barbecue rosemary. So inside here on the porch, other than Willow, I brought some things out of the loft, and I am getting grumpy because I found this garland. I cannot find the one I'm looking for. So now I'm going to see if I tried to outsmart myself and see if I stored it in the eave upstairs. I don't know. One of my friends actually told me the other day that she has started to put her decor in the room they belong, in a closet or something. I might start doing that if I lessen the decor I have, but we'll see. This is the napkin I'm going to show you how I did in a while, and we're going to put, like I said, I think a spider in it. And I put these glasses that I showed you earlier, I believe I did show you, for some candles, but I also realized that I picked up some other little candle holders at the dollar store, so I'm going to see which I like better. But right now I have my rosemary. I am going to start prepping the potatoes. I'm going to wash them, cut them, and get them ready. Well, I found my garland. It was right in front of me, literally right in front of me. So I already pointed out that I found this one. And these are some pumpkins I'm going to put up in a minute. I grabbed this bag because this bag has my tall flowers and a beautiful terracotta colored pot I'm going to use, and I always put it usually in the library. Well, here, put in with that, is the garland. Right in front of me. I'm so happy. Mood changer. Yay. So now I'll be able to put that up with the pumpkins, and hopefully I have batteries for those. Okay, so I got a little fluffing to do. It's been shoved in a bag for a year, but I'm looking at something here. Here is the arrangement that I quickly pulled together the other day. I was just watering the mums, and I noticed how pretty these roses were. They're already passing, but I like how they are fading with the two different colors. I'm going to cut some of these and bring them in. I need some filler, so I got some of the panicle hydrangeas. Oh, and one of them's drying. It is so beautiful. Look at the deep, rich color of that. This one too. This one's even more auburn. Might grab some of these just to do some decorating in the house. But I'm also going to grab some of these beautiful leaves. The color. We'll have reds and mauves. I think that'd be very pretty. I'm over at the other bush, and now I'm looking at the color. These have changed. I probably have cut them back sooner than this. They're turning a beautiful lavender. Some of them even have a little hint of a blue. These are gorgeous. And they're drying. I mean, these are drying naturally. So pretty. I think I'll try using this opalescent vase that I used for part of the wedding presentation and see what they look like in there. I'm looking at this. Look how similar these are. Fake and real. Oops, a leaf just fell off. They look so similar. You can almost not even tell what the difference is. This is when you purchase a good quality floral, it really can pass sometimes as the real thing, as long as the plastic pieces aren't showing. So I need to fold those down. Last year I tucked in some leaves, and I know I found a few of these in the loft also that I can put back in. I also add pheasant feathers going into Thanksgiving. But I'm so pleased to have found the garland. Now I'll get this out, and I love seeing how the colors match what just came inside from Mother Nature. Like I said, I gotta do some fluffing. Just getting ready to get the potatoes out, wash them, dry them, and then I will start putting them in the olive oil and rosemary. So now I'm just gonna chop up some of my rosemary, and you might see here in the forefront, I picked up some asparagus yesterday, and I like to keep it on the counter if I'm gonna be using it, fairly soon, and you just put it in water. When you go to the grocery store and you see how they keep their vegetables is probably the way it will work best in your own home. So you'll usually find asparagus standing upright in little trays of water or moist little sponges. And then also anything else, whether it's refrigerated, that's what you'll want to do. If it's just out at room temperature, that's what you do also. So I was going to do this for dinner tonight, but I decided I'm going to do the roast potatoes in a salad, and I'm going to save this for Ben and myself because I like to overcook my asparagus, and some people don't like that. So I think I'm going to save that. And I still have the rosemary and sage from a couple weeks ago still in my measuring cup, but the rosemary is rooting already, and I love seeing that when that happens. But I can pull from that for something else. I gotta change that container though. So right now I'm just going to take off some fresh rosemary, and I'm either gonna cut it or I'll just do some little dicing. Smells so good. Rosemary, even though I use it a lot in the summer, I do think of the holidays because I usually get the rosemary trees, have them by the counter here or by the stove. It smells so good. Now, the friends that are coming today, it was the first time I saw this. He is the first one that I actually saw when he does a lot of grilling. And he uses an onion to clean the grill, but also it makes it taste good when he's grilling afterwards. He can correct me if I'm wrong for the whole reason and purpose, but I loved seeing that. Okay, I think I'll just chop this up. I'll just do a lot of chopping. I think my knife needs a good sharpening. I think I've shared this before. I picked up just a little rasp at the hardware store, and this is how I like to keep my knife sharp. And sometimes they just roll over a bit, but I'm just gonna go now into the angle, and this will give it a nice sharp edge. Yeah, this knife is bad. So, much better. I'm just going to keep doing this until it gets nice and small. I'll leave enough larger pieces so we will be able to tell that it's rosemary. Oh, so this is, I mentioned earlier, I found some things thrifting at my mom's. They have a thrift store for just residents and their family. So it's funny, I was telling myself I need a food scale, and I found one. I think it was $4, and batteries were in it, works. And I gotta find where my salad spinner is. Right here. And then I got myself a salad spinner. I broke mine, and this one works really well. $4, I think. So I'll have to get that back out a little bit later. I use this tool a lot also. Tool, kitchen gadget. All right, so I'm just gonna do the potatoes now. And I'm just gonna do these in halves. I'll need this after I do the zest, I think, but I'll just put this away now. Now I keep some sea salt right here because sometimes I'll add just a pinch to my water. It helps with hydration. And I'm going to put a little bit of the sea salt in here with the rosemary right now. Inside this drawer right now I have some of my collagen and things that I like to put in my smoothies or my coffee. So I need to redo my drawers. They're not quite right still, but we'll get there. All right, now I'm just gonna put some olive oil in the bag. I'm just keeping this in the bowl to keep it standing up. And one thing about olive oil, Ben went golfing with one of our friends. He's actually a high school classmate, and he works in the olive oil and the avocado oil industry. And he asked a question for me, which I knew, but I didn't know enough of the facts. Olive oil needs to be used fairly quickly once you open it. It can go rancid, and our friend said, think of it as red wine. Once you open it, you need to use it or it's just going to start turning. So I did go through a lot of my olive oils and I gave them a sniff, and they're fine because I use olive oil all the time. But before you cook, smell your olive oil, make sure it's nice and fresh smelling. Actually, you don't want to smell much other than nice, fresh olive oil smell. And if you have a little rancid smell, get rid of it. It's going to ruin your whole meal. It could give you a tummy ache. So that's that. Oh, and I also want to show you something I do with olive oil. I'm going to try to keep a little bit in here. If not, I got to refill this anyways. But I'm just going to pour. Yeah, I'm going to have to refill this. I'm not going to have enough. I like to pour the olive oil inside the bag. Okay, I filled up my olive oil. I'll finish that. But I'm going to pour a little bit in this little container, this little bowl, just to show you something I like to do when I'm cooking, when I have the olive oil out for my hands. But now I'm just going to put my herbs in. And I'll seal the bag up in a minute and shake it. Just going to massage it and get the oil and the salt and the rosemary all over the potatoes. I also have the bowls out. When I entertain, I don't like doing seated dinners where everything is plated and then put down. I love family style. It's either buffet and I have all the food out and people can help themselves, or I like family style where I put everything on the table and we help ourselves. So I've got a platter on the table that will be for the salmon. I'll probably put the potatoes in this or the salad. I haven't figured out my plates yet, but that's what we're doing, family style tonight. I'm just gonna put this in here now just to keep it out of the way. Now I thought I would share with you what I like to do a lot of times when I'm cooking, especially with olive oil. I take my rings off, and I used to have just a ring box that I would keep in the kitchen, and I don't have it here. So I'm going to make sure I have my rings in a container that I will not, oh boy, my fingers are swollen. Let me see. Might have to use the old Windex trick to get the wedding band off. Oh my goodness. I'm guessing many of you know this, but Windex is an amazing way of getting rings off that are too tight. They actually will use that at jewelry stores. I've seen it done. It's been involved. My fingers are swollen and I've gained weight since our wedding, so yeah, that was a little tight. But I like to keep the rings aside so that I don't lose them. I have my sugar here that was from our gathering the other day, a little olive oil, and most of the time I'll just put the olive oil in my hand and sugar, but I'm just doing this to show you. I'm going to mix this together, just a nice big amount, and we're going to make our own little sugar scrub for our hands. I know this isn't rocket science, a lot of you probably do this, but my hands do a lot of work, and I like to treat them every once in a while. So all I'm going to do now is over the sink, I will rub my hands together. I can always tell when I'm dehydrated with my hands, so I can tell right now I'm very dehydrated, but they also need a good exfoliation. Just going to get the water running just a little bit for now. And like I said, I usually will just pour the olive oil in my hand and the sugar. I just wanted to show you. You could even keep this in a little jar next to your sink. And this feels so good. And doing this on your body as well, very good for your skin. I wouldn't use it on your face, a little bit harsh on the tender skin of your face. It just feels so good. And then your hands come out very soft. I go up on my wrists. And I will, like I said, I will make a big batch of this. And it's fantastic for getting rid of dry skin on the elbows and the knees and the feet. And now my hands feel very greasy, but that's a good thing. Now afterwards, you could either put some gloves on and sit. You could put some plastic bags on your hand for a little bit and sit and just let this work in. I've got too much to do, so I'm going to rub my hands clean, probably put my rings back on, and get back to what I need to do on that list. Now I do have a sonic ring cleaner, but in this case, while I'm here, I just do a little bit of Windex, soft brush that I keep under the sink, and I clean under there. And I do this quite often because I don't take my rings off when I work, so. There we go, nice and sparkly. Hands are clean, skin is smooth, rings are clean. There we go. So when I went to the pantry to get some things to make the salmon, I came across my tea box because I didn't put away yet from when I had my future daughter-in-law over and her mom. And I wanted to just show you something, that this tea box idea, which is not new, but my inspiration for buying this tea box was from the friend who is coming over today. Years ago, I think I've known her for about 15 years now. I went over for tea and she brought out her beautiful box and opened it up and had just a beautiful array of tea packages, and it made me feel so special. So of course, while out thrifting, I had to find a tea box to do the same thing. And I did find this one out and about. That's not the price, and I just like the shape, the size, it's a little bit different. And I'm able to put this out and let my friends choose their own tea. And this weekend, I also opened up my tea drawer, which I don't know if it's clean. Maybe I'll show you. Let me show you my tea drawer. I opened up my tea drawer. Let's go see the mess. I opened up my tea drawer, which has a lot of other things, but I also let company go in here and choose a tea of their liking. And then I have my tea bags, but it's a lot of my loose teas, and it's just fun to let people help themselves. When I entertain, I like to serve food that I'm comfortable making. It's so much less stress. So one of the things I do like to make is salmon, and I've modified something from Ina Garten. This is made with a chili chipotle sauce and lime zest, and then I do add just a little touch of salt in mine to sprinkle on top. But what I'm doing right now is I have the limes just in a little bit of vinegar and water just to help break down that wax that they do use, unfortunately, a lot of times. Even though I grabbed organic, I never trust that they're just perfect. So actually, let me take those out right now so I have time to get them to dry. And I can actually feel the waxy coating, which I do not like. So I'm just going to try to rub this all off now that I did that little wash. I'm also going to be using these to juice. So for this, all I'm going to be doing is 2 teaspoons of chipotle chili pepper powder, and then the zest of probably 1 lime or 2. It's for about a teaspoon of the lime zest. And like I said, I'm rolling this just to make them nice and juicy inside. A lot easier to juice it afterwards. A lot easier also to zest the fruit before I cut it. Okay, let's just get this started here. So I'm going to do my 2 teaspoons of the chipotle powder. And you don't have to use all of it when you're making your meal, but I at least like to have enough to sprinkle. And I did get, I think I got 8 fillets, because if we don't finish it, I love putting the salmon on a salad the next day. And now I'm going to zest my lime, but I also like to add just a little salt. Not too much. You don't want it to start pre-cooking the salmon. I like the flavor. Okay, so I'm going to now zest my lime, and I'm just going to lay it down here. And you don't want to get the pith. You don't want to get the white because that's bitter. All right, I'm going to go a little heavy on this. So it's going to be the zest of 1 lime. All right. Ooh, that smells Delicious. So I'm just now going to put this inside and stir it up. Usually I would do this right when I'm ready to serve it, but right now I'm trying to prep everything so that when my company arrives, I can enjoy time with them, and then I can prep it and put it in the oven while we're having a cocktail and some little snacks. And I think my friend is going to make her dessert here. I think she's doing a blueberry crumble. And Ben did get the ice cream. Maybe she'll let me film her while she's doing it. She's been in my videos before. We made the Nor'easter frozen hot chocolate years back. So I like this juicer that has the little ribs here. It helps keep any of the pulp and seeds from going into the juice. You'd have to pour slowly, but it really works well. I love putting things on platters. The other day I had my little desserts and fruits on there when we were having tea, and now I'm just going to put these two items just to have it at the ready when I'm doing the fish. Now I want to show you something that I just did here in the cabinet. Instead of tucking this away, I decided I'm going to keep it up here because it works really pretty with the sky of the painting, and the color's really not in here, but this is another thrift find I got the other day. I just really liked the colors and the old fireplace. I don't even know if the tag is still on it. Yes, $3.49. Odd price, $3.49. But I'm going to use that maybe this weekend for my coffee. I just have to wash it. I put it in there just for it to be safe. I'm getting ready to wash the plates I just picked up, and I thought I would show them to you. I fell in love with these the first time I saw them, and luckily they were there when I went back. I was holding off getting them because I keep buying plates, but I'm going to use these as everyday plates for a while for the season. What I liked about them, and I just want to make sure that it is in view here for you, we have wheat and flowers, and to me it was just perfect for fall. Now I have 6 of these, 6 bowls and 6 dinner plates, but I just wanted to show they are made in England, and many of you know this, made in England means it's not antique, but after 100 years something is antique. So then we won't know, once it's made in England, if it's 100 years old, it won't be the same rule then. So we'll need some new rules. Did that make sense? I hope so. It did in my brain when I was thinking about saying that. So I'm just going to wrap these, get off the stickers, and wash them up. So they were originally marked $67.20, and then I got this at Consignment's Corner in Amherst. And what they do on most of their items is they mark them down per date. And I purchased it after 10/19, so I got them for $47.04. Have to have that 4 cents. Must. So I love the size of these bowls. That's great. Just going to get this off. Now that I found the garland, I'm going to put it up, and I hope I have batteries for the pumpkins, but if not, I'll still put them in and I'll get batteries for another night. So I'm just going to take these down, and I'm going to use nails. I've had many say I should use the command strips. With the heat of fireplaces, a lot of times they don't stick. I've had things fall. I don't mind using little nails in wood. You can fill it, you can paint it. I have holes from the previous years. I'm just going to use the same ones, and it's just not something that that bothers me. So I'm just going to put them in where I had holes before. It's not going to take a lot. And this is already measured out. I have 2 holes here, so that means it was, oops, I just dropped a nail. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. Okay, I got it. So I have 2 holes. I have 2 holes here, which means I wasn't centered the first time. I think it's probably that one. Well, we'll go with this one for now. All right. And I do use some longer nails because if it's too short, they can pop off if somebody touches it and brushes it with their shoulder or something. So these are nice and high, and I can even wrap something on there if I wanted to tie them on. So I'm gonna go grab that garland and just get this up here. One thing I like about this one is I can dress it up for Halloween, take out a few things, and then it will be here for the rest of the fall, right into Thanksgiving. And once again, with these tall nails, this rope will hold on to it. She says, don't pop off. Don't make me look like a fibber. And then I'll just poke this up in the middle. I'll have to do some playing. I'll step back in a moment. And over the years, this has had some things falling off. We will fix that. Hello, Willow. Oh, and I have to add her mask. We need to do that. I haven't even looked at the clock. They're arriving at 2 o'clock. I don't even know what time it is. That's one thing about having friends over also. Hi, Tippy Toes. Hi, Tippy Toes. That's one thing about having friends over is they know you, they know the house. It can be a little bit askew, and that's great. All right, let me clean this up. I'll do her mask after because I want to show you the napkin folding. I keep putting that off. And I have to find a place for the pumpkin, and maybe I'll put the trophy back. Yeah, why not? We'll just put those back for now with the black ribbon. Luckily, it's only 12:30, and I roasted some chicken breast last night, and I saved one for our lunch today. So I'm just going to make some chicken salad. Ben brought me some hamburger rolls, so I guess that's what he would like this on. And one nice thing about using the chicken from last night, it's already seasoned. So I'm just going to have to add some mayonnaise. And it's done. So I had my lunch. I did a few more things. I don't know where this is going to go. I got this last year, and I really enjoy having that. It's so fun. So I don't know where I'm going to put that yet, because if I'm going to do the family style dinner, that might not work, but it would make a really fun centerpiece. So I got the garland up, and I have the lights on, and I tucked in a few real leaves. I'm gonna have to get a few more just to fill it because this end is very sparse compared to the other end. CVS, I found those at CVS one year, and I've used them quite a bit. So here on the table, I have some napkins that I folded, and I love doing this particular one. Now, you can do this with the insides folded like that, but I like to pop them out, and I'm going to show you how I did this. And at a client's home, what I did once before is in the center was a box with candy, and that was also a Halloween one, but I used black napkins, and the box was actually like a cat face, and then I put chocolates inside. Now, at the Dollar Tree, I did pick up those little tea candle holders. I'm going to use those instead. Now that I'm seeing these, it's just not the vibe I'm going for. I picked those up because I thought the color was a bit taupey, and I don't know what they'll look like at night with the candles in them. They might turn purple, but I do believe they will work better than these more contemporary glasses. So I'm going to put these at the head of each place setting for now. Let's see. Yes, that color to me is a lot better on my eyes. And then we'll get the glass ones off the table. So what's fun about this particular way of folding a napkin is, like I said, you could put something in the middle, and it could be a bowl. You could use a pretty decorative plate, whatever your setting is going to be. But for my guests, what they get to have is a tarantula. And I like how it had a little brown, did that on purpose. So the trick to this napkin fold is you want a square. These are linen and cotton blend, but they are a true square, which is what you need for this particular one. And all you're going to do, super simple, still has the little tag on it, it's going to be folding all the corners in, trying to make sure that it's in view here of the camera. Yes, we're going to fold in all of those 4 corners. Easy, right? Now you're going to do it again. It's almost like making that paper Chinese thing. We talked about this before. I forget the name of it. So then you fold it like that. So I might have already done this. I don't remember. Maybe I showed you this already. You're just going to turn it, and turn it. Now here's the most difficult part, flipping it over. So sometimes it's a lot easier if you just grab your plate, get your hand inside there, and just flip it. When you do a real lot of these, you learn these little silly tricks. And now you're going to do the same thing. Put it into the center, turn that corner into the center, and there you go. Now, if you wanted to leave it like this, you could. If you have a plate, oh, that's my dirty plate from my lunch. Wait a minute, let me just wipe it off a little bit for aesthetic purposes. All right, so you could just put another dish right on top like that, or a bowl. But once again, I like to then grab the little corners that are folded underneath here and just pop the little corner. Now, if you wanted to have, if you're having a party and you have a caterer, you can tell them that you'd like, this is, I don't know if this is exactly a lotus flower, because I don't remember always pulling out the edges when I was doing lotus flowers, but it could be. And like I said, I'm bringing back some way back time machine things here. So there you have it. Easy, right? And then I said I have spiders that I'm going to put on every single setting. You can tuck things inside, but this is just a little touch of whimsy and a little touch of Falloween. You have your fall and your Halloween. Not too creepy, right? Just a little bit. So my friend is showing me some metal detecting, and he just showed me a magnet. Can we see that again? And he was showing me that the Earth is full of magnetic debris, right?
Yeah, that's sort of iron filings and such.
So that will even set this off sometimes if there's enough of it?
It disturbs the way it reads the soil.
Okay.
So these machines, you can correct for that.
Okay.
So that's what this... And
so this shovel is also great. I'm usually digging up my yard with a regular shovel.
yeah, this is...
So I can put it back like a puzzle.
Yeah, it goes right back in. So this piece is probably inside here, so we'll start here. But you can sweep the hole, so it's quiet there.
It read as possibly a nickel.
Yeah. But it could be a piece of aluminum too.
Yeah. With all the gatherings and parties they'd have here for the pool, who knows what it could be.
I'm trying to do this without destroying this. Oh, here it is. So it's a piece. So it's basically like a bottle cap.
Lovely. Okay.
Yeah, that's typically a piece of aluminum.
We're not going to pay for a new barn with that then.
Exactly.
Well,
but
this is so much neater than when I do it. Okay. So let's show this close up for Santa too.
And they make different ones too. This is not the only one, but this certainly is a good one.
Look at that. All right.
So the whole thing is to do this in a very efficient way. And tools, you put your tools where they need to be.
And I don't have a tool belt either, so. Okay.
Yeah, let me kind of keep popping away here.
Skip zero. sugarwood one. I didn't get to put the sticks in correctly, but that's where we're gonna do with our skeleton and sticks. All right, back to metal detecting.
Well, it's not silver, I guess. Let's see. It's a modern quarter.
Well, we're 25 cents richer for our time.
Yeah, so this will buff up and put it back in circulation. It's 2000
Okay.
to 2020. It's brand new.
How can that be that deep from 2020?
Yeah, that's how it shows you.
How can that be? I mean, wow. So is there more in that hole or no?
I don't think so, but we'll check it again.
Okay.
But if you have to pull the plug back out, it'll come right back out.
So that's interesting.
And then you can use the shovel to.
Can't even tell.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
You're a surgeon with
the
this.
beauty of it. Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
2020.
Amazing, huh? Gee.
Yeah. And this is why it's called fall. All I needed to do was pat dry the fillets, and then I brushed them with lime juice, sprinkled them with the seasoning mix that we made a little earlier, and I bake these for 15 to 25 minutes. Depends on the thickness of the salmon, and you know it's done if you put a fork in and it just flakes apart. You can see on the tray on the right that I was testing for doneness on a couple of them. Not as pretty, but they tasted delicious, and those what we used the next day for our salads. So are these like frozen still, pretty much?
Yep. These are the Wyman's Wild Blueberries from Maine. 4 cups or thereabouts. I've done it enough that I know
About 4 cups, you said?
how much I need. And the secret to any recipe is butter.
Oh, yes. Butter, and then you have in here, I see oats, and do I see pecans? No, walnuts.
Pecans.
Pecans.
You were right. Oats and pecans and some almond flour.
Okay.
And some olive oil and some maple syrup and a little salt, a little flaxseed, and
Excuse you, Willow.
a very good dose of Sugarwood 1790 vanilla.
Oh, cool.
Okay, I've got it well covered, so it goes 350 for 35 to 40 minutes.
Well, when Willow asked to go to bed, we realized that it might have been later than we thought, because she likes to go to bed at 8. Sure enough, we looked at the clock, it was 8. So our friends were here for about 7 hours. We had a really nice dinner. We did some metal detecting, and now it's just a little bit of cleanup. And I'm just gonna sit and enjoy a nice quiet night. But it was just so nice getting together with friends, and I don't have much to clean up now. I was just playing with my mantle in the dining room. My girlfriend brought me a string of leaves that are lit. So I put them in with another garland that I have, the one that I first found. I'm gonna add some more items. I'll put something a little Halloween-y in here until the 1st of November. Then I will transition it a little bit more for Thanksgiving. And then you know the drill. Then it will transition over to Christmas. So this is just getting started. This is all we came up with, which might look kind of cool, but no. These are all like 2020 and 1990s, and they were so deep. It's crazy. Now, my friend does this a lot. He has coins from the 1700s from his house, and this is what we came up with. And he kept skipping over areas. Our yard is full. He said full of pennies and nickels. He could just tell by the sound, and just to show me he was digging up things that he, found. But he said stuff has to be here. I mean, we were really just zipping around the yard and doing things randomly. So I'm going to definitely do a bit more metal detecting, because I think, what do we have here? I don't know, maybe 90 cents worth of time. That's not going to pay for our barn. Nope. The leaves have all turned to rustic gold, and they are dropping quickly. November is just around the corner, which is also known as stick season here in New England. You might get a little glimpse of what I mean here. Thank you for joining me today, and don't forget to check out my website, newenglandfineliving.com, where there are years worth of ideas, inspiration, and recipes. Bye now.